Good morning. Making my way to Toymakers Cafe this morning. It's an invite-only type get-together. There's a whole bunch of us that are on the invite list. But yeah, I'm going to have some coffee and a beautiful handmade cinnamon bun from Annie. They're delicious. But I'm out on the brandy new Triumph Tiger GT Explorer that I just bought. It's a wonderful motorcycle. I love it. It handles a lot better than my Tiger XCX that I had that I traded in for this. But actually that's a long story. But this bike is noticeably lighter. Noticeably. Like a huge difference in lightness. Very comfortable to ride. They changed everything on the bike. The rider position, the rider position is actually perfect. I had to tweak my last one. I had to put the SW Motec handlebar risers on it to move the handlebars up and back a little bit, because right at the base of my neck I was getting a little crick. But this one is absolutely flawless. It's like I'm in a lounge chair. It just likes purring along. The new T-Plane engine is slightly weird but delightful at the same time. It's weird. When you're chugging along at low RPM, it sounds and feels like it's wind. Let me get it down and I'll just give it some gas and you can maybe hear it, hopefully. But then it smooths right out. It's really bizarre. But it's supposed to have a lot more low-end grunt than the one that was in my previous Tiger. They changed the firing order. It's 1-3-2 instead of 1-2-3. So I don't think they changed the crank. I just think they changed the firing order, and they're making the third cylinder fire via cam and ignition timing. You can hear that. But it's a beautiful morning. It's supposed to get really hot again today. But up here I'm going to junction onto Route 4 and make my way through Torrington. And I'll probably pick this up on the other side of Torrington because Torrington's pretty boring. Nobody wants to look at traffic lights and traffic. But the quick shifter is working flawless on this bike. Smooth as silk. Off we go. But this thing's fun to ride. Can't wait to take it on some really long tours. This happens to be the only one right now in private hands in the United States. That's it. I got lucky on this one. I ordered it back in March. It's now August. And nobody knew when it was going to come in. Triumph wasn't giving my dealer any hints. And my dealer said the only way that anybody's going to get a Tiger in a dealership if somebody orders one right now. So I ordered mine back in March. And he said that's the only way that they're going to send one here. So he talked to his connection at Triumph, and they said, yep, we'll get you a black one. And that's what I wanted. They initially had a blue one on order. I didn't want the blue. I want the black. So they swapped the color out, and that was it. And then I didn't hear from them until 2 weeks ago. But in the meantime, I was popping in the dealer all the time and checking in and talking to them because they were friends of mine. And they had the Speed Triple RR there in Bolt Red. And every time I looked at it, I was like, it started to really grow on me. I mean, I have the Thruxton R with the Cafe Racer fairing, but that Speed Triple RR, it just like, I was like, I just have to have that. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Did I need to spend a lot of money? No, but I had to have that bike. And that's the only one right now until 2024 in Connecticut, because they're limiting dealers to how many they can have in a year. They sold their allotment. They had a white one and I got the red one. I don't know why a guy would buy a white one. But anyway, that's it for 2024 in the Speed Triples. But I love that bike. It's a 21st century version of a Cafe Racer. I have the Thruxton R, like I said, with the Cafe Racer fairing on it, and that's a classic looking motorcycle. My Thruxton is absolutely gorgeous. But I have the RR I bought, and then I bought this, all within 1 week span. This is going to be the only one probably in private hands for quite a while, because Triumph dealers network heavily together, because like you got places like Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, that the people aren't going to buy like a high-end touring machine like this. So everybody's checking in to see if anybody got one, because they do the swap out thing all the time. Triumph dealers always buy from other Triumph dealers a lot. But nobody has one in the United States. Nobody. Everybody lists it for sale, but it's for order only or pre-order only. I got real lucky on this one. And that's even what my dealer said. They said, "You got the only one, man." Looks like it's a tour de farce today with all the bicycle warriors out. The self-canceling turn signals work very well. Not having a problem with those. See if I can get around these guys up the road. There's some major passing zones here on this road. What's really bad on this road is there's a huge bear population right in the woods out around here, and 3 times in the last month bears have been walking across the road right up here. I'll show you the exact spot. And deer are a big issue around here also. They're everywhere. So you gotta keep your antennas up. That's for sure. I wish this bike had a bear and deer detector built into it. That'd be nice. Yeah, passing cars is not an issue. This is pretty much a beautiful country road. I mean, it's usually pretty empty, like this. Right here is where the bears have been crossing the road, right here. Okay? And I'm talking in broad daylight. I don't want to hit a bear. The bike I traded in, theoretically, for this one, the guy had the Triumph 1200 Scrambler XC, which is that big scrambler. And I don't know why he bought that instead of a Tiger to begin with, but he ended up hitting a deer with that and totaled the bike. Luckily he didn't get hurt, killed the deer, but it took somehow, you know, I don't know what happened, but he ended up getting off the bike somehow, sliding, and then the bike ended up going into the woods and the frame got bent, the forks got bent, and they just totaled the bike. But yeah, he's the guy that bought my last Tiger. And I called him up a week ago because my dealer gave me his number, and I asked him if he wanted to buy any of the accessories from my last Tiger that I kept. Like I had the tank ring for like my city bag, my pro bag here from SW Motec, and I had the adventure rack that goes on the back with its adapter plate, and I have the Gibby toolbox that goes on the inside of the left side pannier, which is a really nice thing. It won't fit on this one because there's this weird suspension component right there in the way, and they redesigned this bike 100% from the ground up, so nothing would fit. So I ended up having to buy a new adventure rack. They don't sell the adapter plates separate, and I told them you can have everything at 50% off. I mean, the adventure rack alone is 160 bucks. I was going to sell it to them for 80 bucks. You know, that's a deal of the century, considering it's brand new. But that's that. This is real nice. Nice thing about an adventure bike is it doesn't make you want to go fast, you know? You just want to look around, you know, it's more relaxed. Like my Thruxton and my Speed Triple, those are like point and shoot. You're down, you're over the tank kind of, and you're just focused on it, you know, just ripping the next corner. This one, it's nice just loafing along sometimes. But this one is super comfortable. Some people were complaining about vibration in the handlebars. No. There is a little more than my last one, but it's not objectionable. Not something that's going to make my hands go numb. Nice thing about this bike, I'm way away from the gas tank. My other one, I was right on the gas tank. I mean, when you're in the cockpit, my jacket was always rubbing the gas tank. This one, I got lots of space here. That's the other nice thing about this, except it costs a lot of money, is it has a 7.9 gallon fuel tank. I just topped it up, you know, before it came on the road. I was down to about a half a tank, and it cost me $23-ish. That's a lot of money for a half a tank of gas. I forget what they said. I think they're stating something like 43 miles to the gallon on this. This little 126, Route 126. This will take me right into Falls Village. This is a real bumpy road. It was probably an old dirt road back in the day, a farm road. But it's like bucking bronco in places. Well, yesterday the starter motor in my Jeep Wrangler went. I got to the grocery store, put the key in the ignition, and the starter motor was freewheeling. But then all of a sudden on one of the tries it caught and it started. So I said, ooh, let me go home, find out who's got a starter motor. It turns out I searched like a 60-mile radius. Nobody had one in stock except the auto parts place right down the street from where I live. So I ended up getting into my Jeep. I got it started again, and I left it running at the auto parts store. Went in, bought the starter, went home, and I should have kept the Jeep running because I could have driven it to the shop. But no, I turned it off, and that was it for the starter. Done, gone. I tried it about 100 times. I even banged on it with a hammer. I tried all kinds of stuff, and the starter was done. So I ended up having to have my Jeep flatbedded to my shop, and that cost me $294. But that's where all my tools are. So I was going to do that today, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to ride this. They've downscaled the threat of thunderstorms here to just maybe some overnight showers, and I can live with that. Gotta watch traffic on this road. This is Route 7 I'm crossing right here, and people rip on this road. Lime Rock Racetrack is right down there. But this is Falls Village. This is a real quiet, quaint little town. It's beautiful out here. Be nice to live out here. The downside of living out here is it's an hour to get to a grocery store. It's a half hour to get gas. Toymakers is right up here.